Hi there, mud in your eyes. I'm finally getting around to responding to your video. And I've got this wonderful new laptop, so I thought I'd take it outside. Yes, suffering can be positive and beneficial as it helps us to grow. In the context of a universe with a God, I would imagine suffering being positive up to a point. However, as the magnitude of the suffering increases, we move into a grey area beyond which it loses its utility as a stimulus. Where those exact lines are is hard to say, but a brutal rape and murder, or a global war, or a tsunami, I think, are clear-cut examples of large-scale suffering that are simply impossible to justify, other than to say that it's a mystery, which in itself is a tacit admission of the scale of the horror. Religion must come up with these escape clauses because the entire premise is so deeply flawed. I don't see death itself as a dreadful thing. If you consider that life is it, that the brief lightning flash of consciousness we experience is all there is, then life is that much more precious, and in that sense a positive gift. However, death is likely to be no different than how things were before we were born, or when we sleep deeply and dreamlessly. We simply no longer are. There is no terror in this. The real horror is that religion has made death a shadowy and frightening concept, taken a sad but common human experience and made it terrifying. It's not the death I object to, it's the eternal torment. As regards the main thrust of your point, that we selfishly create life knowing that it will die, there is a weak analogy to be drawn here between what we do and what God is alleged to do. However, it really isn't adequate to the very demanding use you're putting it to, and it quickly breaks down for the following key reasons. 1. We only have the vaguest notion of the future, not explicit and complete knowledge. Yes, my daughter will die, but that is all I can be certain about. We live in a country that is prosperous, at peace, and with a social welfare system so comprehensive that poverty is nearly eradicated. So probabilities are good that even with occasional bad luck, she will have a long and enjoyable life. Contrast this with complete foreknowledge about billions in eternal torment, and let's face it, there simply is no contest here. Secondly, I'm a human being, a selfish and self-absorbed creature with a powerful drive to procreate. I am going to do things to gratify my own selfish drives. I am not morally and ethically perfect, as God is alleged to be. So I don't think there's a huge amount more we need to say about that. So I'm not convinced. The monotheistic God, all-knowing, loving and powerful, is logically impossible given the world that we see. The alternate option, that life lacks any purpose other than the purpose and meaning we give it, fits the facts of a cruel and fairly unforgiving universe much, much better. Peace.